to rename South Cesar Chavez Drive, and a Cesar Chavez statue in the city has been removed.
On the plaza outside El Rey Family Market on the city's south side, plaques honoring the legacy of Chavez were removed from the store's entrance. El Rey co-founder Ernesto Villarreal says they want to recognize immigrants and plan to replace the statue with one of a migrant family. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Officer-involved shooting leaves a 41-year-old man dead in the village of Summit. Happened after a police chase started in Jefferson County Thursday morning for a driver with possible felony warrants. Waukesha County deputies then took over until the car stopped near Highway 67 north of Highway 18. Sheriff Eric Severson.
The vehicle became disabled in a farm field, and an armed male suspect then exited the vehicle and displayed a handgun.
Deputies shot the man who was pronounced dead at the scene. The mother of 6 children found locked in a Milwaukee storage unit avoids jail time. Asia Zelensky will serve 18 months of probation after she pled guilty to 2 misdemeanor counts of child neglect. Milwaukee County Judge Anna Barrios.
We are to look for a silver lining. Has brought resources that the attorneys are recommending to Ms. Zelensky so that she can be the mother that these children need her to be.
Zelensky and her partner Charles Dupriest were found sleeping in their car in the storage unit parking lot last year. A jury found Dupriest guilty on 8 counts of child neglect. He'll be sentenced next month. Today's the first day of spring, but in some places in the West feels more like summer. ABC News chief meteorologist Ginger Z says record-setting heat is settling in thanks to a high-pressure system.
Pressure has not been this high this early in the season since June of 2010. That's why this heat dome is a big deal. It does not happen in March. We have had so many all-time March records broken. Take Palm Springs again, Phoenix, Tucson, Las Vegas. Phoenix had their earliest 105 on record.
It hit 110 degrees in the desert near Yuma, Arizona. Chuck Norris has died. The iconic tough guy actor passed away surrounded by friends and family in Hawaii. Earlier this week, he suffered an undisclosed medical emergency and was hospitalized. Chuck Norris was 86. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow down 279, the NASDAQ off 300, S&P 500 down 62. Financial planning at every level, Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at AnnexWealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:04.
Since 1956, the Adair name has stood for craftsmanship, honesty, and taking care of people the right way. I'm Austin Adair.
And I'm Chelsea.
My grandparents started this company with nothing but hard work and pride in every single job. My parents carried that legacy forward, and today, my wife and I are proud to continue it as third generation of Adair Floors and Remodeling. This isn't just a business to us. It is our family name, our reputation, and our promise to you. At Adair Floors and Remodeling, we help homeowners upgrade with confidence. Whether you need luxury vinyl plank, hardwood, carpet, tile, or a full remodel, our team handles everything from design to installation. Quality products, professional crews, clear communication, and results you'll love. That's what 3 generations have built and what we stand behind every single day. Visit Adair Floors and Remodeling today at our large showroom located in Franklin, or give us a call at 414-761-3660 for a free estimate. Adair Floors and Remodeling. 3 generations, 1 standard.
If you need a place for new home interior ideas, then you have to come talk to us. Our on-staff decorators know furniture, home decor, and a lot more. And they're not only creative, but also very willing to help you make great choices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Stop in often because our inventory changes daily.
Design Exchange.
Previously, it has been gently loved, but here you'll only find very well-conditioned premium home decor items that you likely won't find elsewhere. Distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, and other tasteful home decor at a value. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Wisconsin men's basketball team upset in the NCAA tournament. Fifth-seeded Badgers lost 83-82 to number 12 seed High Point in Portland. UW ends the season with a 24-11 record. Wisconsin women's basketball team kept its season alive, beating Oregon State 62-58 in the first round of the WBIT. They take on Miami in round 2. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more. Milwaukee Bucks lost 128-96 to the Utah Jazz, and Milwaukee Brewers scored 7 runs in the third inning to cruise to an 11-4 victory over the Rangers. They take on the Diamondbacks today. Take a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We did have a crash blocking the right shoulder. I-41 and US 45 north at the ramp from Burleigh. The crash has been cleared now off the shoulder. Might be some residual slowing in that area.
Sponsored by Accunet Mortgage.
Get your rock-solid pre-approval or a no-pressure refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Mostly cloudy today, 52 for the high, but turning cooler lakeside in the afternoon and evening. Mostly cloudy, 34 overnight. Sunshine tomorrow, high 57, 65 inland. Chance of rain on Sunday, high 48. Sunshine on Monday, 43, and cloudy on Tuesday with a high 45. 49 in Madison, 41 in Green Bay, 50 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
It's Friday, which means it's time for the Political Power Hour on Point Taken, where the left and right go head-to-head on this week's top stories and issues. Here are your hosts, Steve Scafidi and Kristen Broad.
Look at that. A new opening for Friday, and all 4 of us are here. It goes Becky, Bill McAshin, Steve Scafidi, and I am back after having... I didn't have the day off. I just was working on other stuff, which is what my vacations usually entail.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think we should probably, do you have something to say?
Just that it's good to have you back.
Oh, thanks.
My voice needed the rest.
Oh.
It's a busy week.
You had a lot of guests yesterday. You weren't just doing the show solo.
They don't just ask their own questions. I had to ask all those questions.
Some of them I think would actually do that, though.
I'm sure you're right, especially when
some
you're
of them
talking
just
about
wind them up
elected officials.
And let them go.
You bet.
All right. Do we have an exit strategy yet for Iran, Bill?
Well, I bet we do. It hasn't been disclosed. I don't know any war where they've disclosed the actual exit date. We didn't know when our Armistice Day was going to be back during World War II. But, there's some realities of this one. It's going to have to be sooner than later, whether that's 2, 3, 4 weeks. I mean, gas prices are a real thing now. They're $1 higher than they were when this thing started. So it's impacting real people every day. And that's a reality. And I don't know that you can fight a war based on what the price of gas is, but at the end of the day, there are politics involved in this. If there's an absolute cutoff date, if you believe the War Powers Act of 1974, then that date will be 60 days from the start. And we're 21 or 22 days into this. So, at most there's 40-plus days left of this thing.
This administration known for giving a rip what Congress thinks.
So there is a bright line coming up at the end of April, and hopefully it's done sooner than that. But my guess is, and honest to God, the guy who said this yesterday, I was listening at the radio at the airport in Florida, was Greg Gutfeld. He says we don't know what the denominator is. We've hit X number of these targets, but we don't know how many there were, right? So is X number a good thing or not such a great thing? And I think there's some uncertainty as it relates to that. I'm confident in our military and their abilities, and that they will do what they need to do to make this a long, sustainable peace in the Middle East. But it's not going to be fun getting there.
You can win every fight and still lose a war. And when you look, first I want to speak to something that the top Trump economic advisor said this week, because I think it bears repeating. Kevin Hassett on CNBC said if the war were to be extended, it wouldn't really disrupt the U.S. economy very much at all. He added, quote, "It would hurt consumers, and we'd have to think about that, but that's like really the last of our concerns right now." Let's just sit with that for a minute. This is supposed to be the economic-focused administration. This is the guy who blamed Joe Biden for prices at the pump And now the average of gas is at $3.91. And the damage, like this has become an energy war where you have across the Middle East, not just oil, but natural gas facilities being hit. And as bad as the day-to-day is, the strategic misfire here is going to be bad for America for years. And I hope people just understand that when we warned about Donald Trump, we the left, this is what we were talking about. He spent the week begging other countries to help us reopen the Strait of Hormuz. And he spent every day he was president up until then beating the crap out of our allies, threatening them, not being a good global partner. And so now when he turns around and says, hey, France, hey, Germany, hey, Britain, can you help? What did he think that these countries were going to say? They're saying, no, maybe after the shooting stops. Like, this is a mess. And the analysis that I'm seeing is that even if the shooting were to stop today, which I've said over and over again, we don't get to decide that. If we stop shooting, the guys we're shooting at, they can still choose to shoot back. But the hard physical infrastructure that powers the energy economy globally has now been impacted, and it will take, in some cases, weeks, in some cases, months, and in some cases, years to rebuild these refineries that have been hit by bombs.
Let's do this. Let's take a break on time. After the break, I want to ask you, what's a win in this war with Iran? What does that feel like? What does that look like? How would you define that? We'll get to that question with Joe and Bill and Kristen and Steve. Point Taken Friday edition. You know where you're at, 620 WTMJ.
When snowstorms hit and the roads turn slick.
These slick roads are pretty brutal.
When school closings start rolling in and traffic slows to a crawl.
The snowfall closing schools in Kenosha.
We've got the latest updates on forecasts and everything else you need to know during severe winter weather. Find Fleet Farm Storm Team alerts on air and online at WTMJ.com or on the WTMJ mobile app. Stay safe. Stay informed with WTMJ.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Kristen Bry, and it's time to make sure that you have a great smile for all those photo ops coming up this spring and summer. So I want to tell you about the dentist I recommend, Dr. James Michaels at Economwalk Dental Care, my dentist. If you've been putting off a cleaning, dealing with tooth sensitivity, or you're ready to finally fix what's been bothering you, this is the place to start. Dr. Michaels and his team are welcoming, thorough, and focused on your comfort. They'll explain your options clearly and help you feel at ease in the chair. So from regular checkups to crowns, cosmetic improvements, implants, and Invisalign, they can handle it all. And if something happens unexpectedly, they also offer emergency dentistry. Call 262-567-7224 to request an appointment or just visit drmichaelsdentalcare.com.
It's WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. If you're looking for expert care without that cold clinical vibe, Sweet Talks is where beauty, wellness, and self-confidence comes together in such a fun, welcoming space. Sweet Talks offers injectables, advanced skin treatments, even wellness services like weight loss or hormone optimization. Sweet Talks provides a comprehensive consultation designed just for you. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
The boys indeed back in town. Thank you, Thin Lizzie. Kristen is back as well. So we got the full house. Before the break, I asked the question, the final win here, because wars are different now. You don't send all your guys and women to the front lines. You sort of, bomb, throw drones over whatever country or critical area you're trying to go to war with. So how do you define a win here?
You have to define a strategy, and that's part of the problem, right? In the opening evening where Trump appeared with the white ball cap on, it was about regime change. And then it was about they can't get a nuke. And then it was about we're degrading their ability to do an umbrella that allows them to project power across the Middle East. Well, which is it? Because not all of those things are going to be solved here. What the intelligence community is assessing is that the IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, has consolidated power. We have another Khomeini who is maybe viewed as more hardline than his father was.
Well, you're saying that he's dead?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's a figurehead. The IRGC
If he's alive.
is calling the shots, right? And both Israel and the U.S. are recognizing and saying publicly that if the Iranian people take to the streets, they will be slaughtered. So you're not going to
get proof of that this week.
So you're not going to get a regime change. So what's going to happen? Even if you invaded and with tens, hundreds of thousands of troops dug into the mountains that we bombed last June and took out all of their nuclear material, they would still be able to rebuild conventional arms. I don't know that strategically we can get a win here, certainly not in the short term.
I think there's multiple pieces of it. One is the reopening of the Straits of Hormuz, and hopefully that'll happen in the next couple of weeks. That would be one. Two is essentially demilitarizing Iran. That I don't know that we'll know.
That would be a win. If you could do that, it would be a win.
That point, I don't know that we'll be able to prove we've totally denuclearized them for some time, right? But we can demilitarize them. There's no doubt about that. The regime change actually is important, but I don't know that it's going to happen. I mean, when you had 3 more people publicly executed this week, including a very popular global athlete,
wrestler,
a wrestler, hanged, the 3 of them. This regime is sending a message to the people: if you speak out, you will be killed. Mm-hmm. Period. Yep. Full stop. It would be best for Iran to change regimes. We don't know if the new Ayatollah is actually alive or if he's in some hospital in Russia or if he's a figment of our imagination. They haven't proven he's alive yet, but there's no noticeable change in how that country has operated since the killing of the supreme leader.
2 things I want to point out. I'm stealing from my own Say Something Nice, I'll find another one. Tucker Carlson this week.
Oh, God.
We were told after the 12-day war there was no nuclear threat in Iran. How is it that 6 months later we get another lecture about their nuclear capability and its imminent threat? Joe Kent, a Trump appointee who is heading the NCTC, the National Counterterrorism Center, resigned this week, saying he could not in good conscience stay. And Joe Kent's answer to Tucker was, there was no debate. This war was a foregone conclusion. We are being lied to by this administration. Tulsi Gabbard went on the Hill and couldn't answer very straightforward questions or wouldn't answer them. The other thing I want to add, broadly speaking, the world is less safe today. Not only because we chose a war in the Middle East, but because we have also chosen war in Cuba. And that's what this is. Because if any other country blockaded the United States and denied us access to economic goods, we would declare that an act of war. And right now, there is a Russian oil tanker on its way to Cuba. So we have another flashpoint potentially coming up where a Russian oil tanker is going to try to get to Cuba and it's going to test the U.S. naval blockade. Does this remind anybody of 1962? History doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. Donald Trump and his administration have made the world less safe, and everyone needs to understand that.
Well, Democrats have made the United States less safe by refusing to fund the Department of Homeland Security. That's a fact.
The only thing they have declined to fund is an additional appropriations request for for ICE and CBP.
False. They
have introduced measures to fund TSA, to fund FEMA,
baloney.
and
you
Republic.
Know that.
No, they're
they
using
closed
the
this
leverage they
government
have
specifically to grind the economy to a halt. How can you impact the economy the fastest? You can grind air traffic to a halt, which is where they're heading.
They have leverage, and they are trying to get much-needed reforms that the American people
they're putting
support
all of us
for
at
ICE and
risk.
CBP.
And if you are traveling next week on spring break, good luck.
Then
it may not happen.
Republicans should take the clean funding for TSA that Democrats have offered, but
these are
refuse to do
political
that.
arguments. I mean, let's get back to it.
We also changed the subject from what the points as far as globally what is or is not safer.
I think we will ultimately be safer long term because of what's going on
in the
Middle East.
region. Because I was in Egypt, not for long, but I got a chance to talk to a lot of people who are Egyptian, and they're sort of on our side. They don't like what's happening in Iran. They don't like the way that country's been led for a long time. Mm-hmm. They remember the old Iran, which a lot of people forget in the 70s.
Which is great.
Vastly different.
Yeah.
In the region, this is for both of you, do you think that the other countries, the other leadership is supportive of our efforts here, or are they just sort of staying out?
They're getting more vocal. To one of Joe's earlier points, NATO was slow to the draw, and honestly, we probably have some blame for that. I mean, we said we didn't need him. Then we said we did need him. I think the countries in the region have come around this week to wanting to be helpful. What that looks like, I think we're going to know sooner than later, whether that's next week or the next 10 days. But I think there's more support for what we're trying to accomplish there. Would have been good to have it a little earlier.
Which is to demilitarize them.
Yeah.
And here's the biggest challenge, and my pushback to Bill saying about whether a demilitarized Iran is even possible. This is a country of 93 million people that has one of the largest oil reserves in the world. Until the global economy finds something other than oil to power our world, they're going to have the financial resources, right? As long as they can sell oil, they'll have money and be able to rebuild conventional arms. And from the long-term strategic approach to this, what this administration continues to show, in my view, this is an opinion, it's not fact, but like my opinion is they are telling rogue nations that a nuclear weapon is the only way to protect yourself. Because we haven't moved on North Korea, have we? Why? Because they probably already have the nuke. We keep going after countries without nukes. Other countries are going to want a deterrence from the U.S. or other major powers from moving on them. That's bad.
Let's take a break. Last one of the first half hour of the 90-minute edition of Bill and Joe on this Friday, and then we'll have some fun in the latter half of the program. Point Taken is the name of the show. 620 WTMJ is where you're at.
A Friday Lenten fish fry is a delicious family tradition. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I urge you to take your family to the Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford for the all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry and just $8.99. You're going to pay double that at other restaurants, and you don't need to. Kids menu starts at $3.99, and they can safely play in the world-class game room quietly set away from the dining area. I made so many memories with my kids in that great game room. Desserts or buy one, get one free. Don't cook and clean today. Enjoy the all-you-can-eat Friday Lent fish fry at just $8.99. The Saturday all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet is under $10 from 8 till noon, $10. The Mine Shaft restaurant in beautiful downtown Hartford, so walkable, and in Oshkosh, easy, near the EAA. Lots of seating, close parking. Google the Mine Shaft, call and reserve your Wednesday and Friday all-you-can-eat haddock Lenten fish fry, $8.99. No restaurant inflation at the Mine Shaft, serving from 10:30 a.m. Dine early.
Hey, WTMJ, Steve Scafidi. It's that time of year again. Yes, Brewers baseball home opener. Less than a week away. We're giving you a chance to win a 4-pack of tickets, not to the home opener, that's sold out, but a game in April 14th to be exact, night game against the American League champion Toronto Blue Jays. Right behind home plate, 4-pack of tickets. All you have to do is text the word EXTRA, EXTRA, to 855-616-1620. Sign up for the newsletter. Easy peasy, like 4 or 5 questions. Name, email, where you're from. That's it. And then you get the great newsletter, which comes out every Sunday morning, once a week. We don't bombard you with other stuff. It's a fun read. Text the word EXTRA right now to be eligible to win 4-pack of tickets to the game with the Blue Jays on Tuesday, April 14th.
For 176 years, St. Vincent de Paul Society of Milwaukee has been neighbors helping neighbors, working to eliminate poverty and hunger with compassion and dignity. When families face hard times, our volunteers step in. Over 600 trained volunteers ready to meet people where they're at, in their homes. And that's what our Neighbors Helping Neighbors home visit program is all about. Volunteers travel in pairs, listening first, then offering personalized support. They provide families and individuals with things like furniture, beds, food, clothing, and connect them to vital community resources, help that provides stability during challenging times. These home visits don't just address an immediate need, they help create a safer, more stable future for our families and individuals in our community. Last year alone, St. Vincent de Paul Society volunteers completed nearly 11,000 home visits across Milwaukee County, serving those who need us most. Together, we are neighbors helping neighbors. To learn more about our mission or get involved, visit svdpmilw.org.
It's springtime, and instead of getting outside and having fun, you have to paint the deck, repair the boards, and discover more rotten wood on your deck. Call Outdoor Living Unlimited to replace the old beaten-down wood deck with a beautiful new composite deck with new railing. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's top TimberTech decking installer and can deliver a design and build your next maintenance-free deck. Stop by our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha or visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
The Brew Crew are back on March 26th.
Curio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they open up the season against the Chicago White Sox.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness.
his third deck.
Brewers Opening Day is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in March 26th at 1:10 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Well, welcome back to Point Taken. I'm Kristen, along with Steve, Joe, and Bill. All right, we only have a couple minutes before the bottom of the hour news. So, Bill, we have a question on the text line for you from James in Milwaukee. I'd like to ask Bill, what one piece of advice would you give Trump?
Be as transparent as possible. I don't think the macho talk helps. That's me. I think people need more information about what's going on over there, and if at all possible, a better indication of the timing of this, because I don't think patience is going to be super long on this crisis, and so the clock's ticking. So be as transparent as he possibly can.
So speaking of being transparent, as Joe mentioned, Joe Kent resigned this week, said there was no imminent threat, and I've seen that is something. So as far as what the information you know, do you feel like there was an imminent threat when it comes to our decision?
I don't know. Here's what I'll tell you. I didn't know who Joe Kent was until Sunday when he resigned. But there's a couple things about that piece. There's two things he said that stood out to the media and to the public. One was there was no imminent threat, and two, we got dog walked into this by Israel. He provides no evidence for either of those claims. So does Joe Kent have more information than the four of us on what's going on there?
Yes.
Maybe.
Right?
But
he
literally is offering an opinion with no evidence. So he should be in a position to provide that evidence. So I think it calls into question what his real motive was.
For sharing classified documents. I think he's in trouble.
Yeah, I was skeptical of it when I saw it because there was no evidence provided.
How about you? You want to give us some advice for the President of the United States?
No, I want to give advice to Democrats in Congress. The Pentagon has requested $200 billion. Democrats, it's a hard no. It is a no. The Pentagon budget is higher than it has ever been before. You can ensure that our troops can get out of the Gulf and back home safely. Then we can have a conversation about how to rebuild our munitions that have been expended between Ukraine and this war in the Middle East. That includes interceptors, but no to the $200 billion. Get the assets out of there.
So I was listening to the David Frum show. So he's an Atlantic writer. He was in this last episode. He is saying that Democrats are taking advantage of the fact that they don't have to have a hard line on this, and that secretly they may say things publicly, but that it helps them because they actually do want some of the things that we're aiming for with like regime change. Do you have any feelings on that? If that's a true statement?
No.
Okay. You think Democrats want to be more involved than that they're not taking advantage of a free pass?
We'd like a rational foreign policy, and so far we have not had one.
Lots more to get to in the next 60 minutes with Bill McCosh and Joe Sapecki, our strategist, Democrat and Republican, both sides, which, again, I love to say it over and over again, is the difference between this show and a lot of other shows. They don't both sides. We have these speakers for both sides of the political aisle, which I appreciate, even in our hosts, sort of. Sometimes. We got local news coming up with the awesome Connie Weber going into the weekend. And then now the latest from ABC News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. More U.S. troops are headed to the Middle East. 2,200 Marines aboard 3 U.S. Navy amphibious ships left San Diego on Wednesday and will be headed to the Middle East, according to U.S. officials. The head of the International Energy Agency calls this the greatest threat to global energy in history and warns people don't yet understand how bad the situation is. ABC News contributor and former Defense Department official Mick Mulroy on the gas facility in Qatar that was hit by an Iranian strike.
And by estimates, it could take 5 years to replace. So that takes out a considerable amount of energy that would otherwise be going around the world. And when it comes to this percentage, if you will, of energy being taken off the market, it won't be made up for.
The Al-Aqsa Mosque compound in Jerusalem is closed to worshiper for Friday's Eid, marking the end of Ramadan for the first time since the 1967 Mideast War. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 1031. I'm Connie Weber. A man living at a Girl Scout camp faces felony charges after police say they found guns and drugs in his home. 48-year-old Paul David accused of growing marijuana and having magic mushrooms and multiple weapons at his home at the Camp Silverbrook Girl Scout camp in West Bend. Investigators say David's a convicted felon and the guns and drugs were at easy reach of the two children who lived in the home. Girl Scouts of Wisconsin Southeast say David's wife was an employee. She's on administrative leave during the investigation. No girls were involved or harmed. One woman dead after a crash in Burlington. Racine County Sheriff's deputies say a car veered into oncoming traffic on Pine Street near Shaw Road shortly before 4:30 p.m. Wednesday. It was then hit by an SUV driven by a 61-year-old woman who sustained major injuries. Driver of the car has been identified as 31-year-old Dakota Moran from Johnsburg, Illinois. His 32-year-old girlfriend from Kenosha died at the scene. Police say Moran was impaired at the time of the crash. The 2026 spring break travel season coinciding with a partial government shutdown, leaving TSA agents without a paycheck. Officials at Mitchell International say they're not seeing a major impact at this time, but still recommend travelers arrive at the airport 2 hours before a flight to make sure they can get through security. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is down 284, 45,737. The Nasdaq is down 284 as well, 21,805. S&P 500 down 58 points at 6,548. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. I-94 west at 43 north right lane there is blocked. There is a disabled vehicle in that lane. Another one on the ramp from 9th and Mineral to I-43 north. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Mostly cloudy today, 52 for the high, but it'll turn cooler this afternoon lakeside. Mostly cloudy, 34 overnight. Sunny tomorrow, highs 57, lakeside 65 inland. Rain on Sunday, high 48. Monday, sunshine with a high 43 and cloudy skies on Tuesday with a high 45. 51 now in Madison, 44 in Green Bay, and 51 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 1033.
Why work with several sales reps that don't work for you, drinking their company's Kool-Aid, only able to sell what their company has to offer? You'll get biased opinions and probably not a very good deal. When it comes to local advertising, a lot of business owners do this. It takes a lot of time and will cost you more for your advertising than it has to. Let us work for you. We know all the rates for all media. This keeps everybody honest, and when you place the volume of advertising we do, it means you get great deals. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results. We'll make your ads potent, memorable, and effective. Whether it's radio, TV, billboards, or digital, our understanding of the market and long-standing relationships are unmatched. Anderson Smith represents a substantial amount of advertising billing, which will benefit you in getting much more for your ad dollar. Our compensation model is designed to make it affordable for businesses like yours to use us. And we hold on to our clients because what we do works, and they trust us. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results.
Why DIY your frozen pizza toppings when Screamin' Sicilian already went over the top for you? We're talking whole milk mozzarella, heaps of premium meats, a mountain of veggies. Screamin' Sicilian is frozen pizza stacked, no add-ons needed. Mamma mia! Screamin' Sicilian, so loaded with toppings, it's almost cheating. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section and taste what all the screamin' is about.
Do you hear that? That means that baseball is almost here. We're counting down to opening day as the Brewers open the season against the White Sox on Thursday, March 26th. This opening day series is sponsored by Matrix Basement Finishing. Mention opening day and save an additional 10%. Visit matrixbasements.com. Catch Brewers baseball on WTMJ all season long. We are the flagship station for Brewers baseball. WTMJ.
Hi everybody, this is Max. I really missed you guys, so I'm back with a joke of the week. How much does a chimney cost? Free, because it's on the house. Back to the show.
Boom! How about that? We got a
welcome back.
Yes. I got it yesterday. We were chatting it up with Max, and he said, I want to be back on the show. I said, okay. And
love it.
We made it happen. So
That's
he misses you guys.
Finally a reason to tune in.
Yes.
Yeah.
And thank you. That was a funny joke, too. Huh?
State Fair, is that going to be his next appearance?
I might
Live
have
appearance?
multiple grandkids at our State Fair. Oh, yeah, because, they all want a piece of that pie, that attention.
They all want the attention.
Yeah, they're all talkers. Surprise.
Well, even the youngest one?
All of them, yeah. Well, Cal's, he talks, but it's all gibberish. Yeah. Yeah, but he doesn't stop him. The other day, he's got a harmonica in his mouth and cookies in both hands walking through the house at 1.5.
That's a whole vibe.
Multitasker.
Yeah, future musician, maybe. All right. Bill, this is a story that I just think is fascinating. Day after day in the last few weeks, Republican after Republican just saying, I'm done. I'm not
in Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin, yes, we should focus that to our state legislature. Rob Hutton, not Nas, whatever his name is, Van Wangard. We obviously got Robin Voss earlier, not part of this recent group. LeMahieu announcing yesterday he's going. What do you make of this?
So it's unprecedented. For those that follow Wisconsin politics closely, and I think the four of us do, pre-2010, turnover in the legislature was really rare. And frankly, it was in the Congress, too. But I'm going to focus on the Wisconsin legislature. It was very, very rare. People would stay 10, 16, 18, even 20 years in the legislature and make a career out of it. Post-2010, that hasn't been the case. People view themselves more as citizen legislators, and they come for a short period of time, get in, do their work, and then they go back to what they were doing before. So it's more commonplace that people are retiring after short stints in the legislature. All of the retirements we've seen in the last couple of weeks, though, are from veterans, people who have been around a while.
Leaders.
Again, unprecedented. Having the speaker and the majority leader both leave at the same time. I'm going to treat these differently. I'm going to say some things that probably will get your text line going. But first of all, I want to thank them all for their service. These are thankless jobs for the most part. They require significant sacrifices. The pay is crap. I can say that on the air.
For the amount of grief they take, I agree.
Yeah. It really is. But they all chose to do it, and I think they all did it admirably. Having said that, Devin LeMahieu in particular is in a unique position. He is the Senate Majority Leader. I believe that the Senate GOP caucus must hold a leadership election next week. They have to replace him as the leader, and I'll tell you exactly why. He can no longer raise money for their elections because he's a lame duck. Frankly, he's worse than a lame duck because he can't sit with interest groups and have conversations about things that might happen next legislative session. So he's not in a position to help the other 17 members of the caucus, and therefore he has to either step down as the majority leader or they have to take him out.
Will he do that?
Yeah.
That's the right thing to do. Devin's a good man. I knew his dad. His dad, Dan served in the legislature. I think they're a great family. I think Devin will do the right thing if he's pushed a little bit, but I don't think they thought about this. The difference between him and Voss could continue to be the speakers because everybody in my industry already views Tyler August as the go-to guy.
Right.
He's the majority leader. He's the heir apparent to be the speaker. So while Robin Voss may still be there in title, he's not the one making the promises for next legislative session, and he will play some role in these elections, but it's mostly Tyler August. That doesn't exist in the state Senate. They do not have an identified successor to Devin LeMahieu, and frankly, they have to do it now. They cannot wait until November.
Who would it be, if you think, or who would be contending for it?
I think the number one candidate for it would be Mary Felskowski, senator from the 12th, which is northern Wisconsin. She passed on a bid to run for Congress. I think she would have cleared the field had she run for that, and we may get to that seat later on in this. I think she would be number one. I think Pat Teston from the Stevens Point area would probably be number two. They don't have a lot of ready in the waiting folks to do it, but I will say they got a bench of some. I will say this: Devin LeMahieu has done a really good job of recruiting candidates. Amy Binsfield in the Sheboygan seat that he represents, I think, is a phenomenal candidate, former state representative. I like Angie Sappick up in the 25th, which is my area. I like Sandy Wiedmeyer down in Kenosha. There are some really strong women running that I think will change the dynamic of that caucus for the better.
All right, so there's phrases, getting out of Dodge, writings on the wall.
Rats off the ship.
Yeah. Do you think there's some of that here, or are we just,
No.
am I just overstating it?
I think some of them are just burned out. This could be a challenging year. I think we all acknowledge that.
Well, that's the point of the question. Really.
Yeah. I still believe that it could be a good year with the right strategy. And, that's going to require leadership. And Devin's not in a position to provide that at this point.
59% of Americans say the economy is doing poorly. This is not just a Wisconsin issue. 35 Republican members of Congress have also announced plans to retire, step aside, not run for re-election, etc. That is the most since 2012. My message to Democrats here is simple. Every single indicator is telling you, go big, expand the playing field, make this as close to an extinction level event politically for Republicans as you can. There is no race that is out of reach when you have a historically unpopular president who already had a terrible midterm in 2018. Democrats picked up districts, 3, 4, 5 districts in Congress that were like plus 10, plus 11, plus 13 Republican. Democrats have to compete everywhere this year. All of the tells are there.
What is the message, do you think? Like, as in paying attention, like, what are they what are Democrats running on, whether it's specific to Wisconsin or nationwide, as far as, because I still see it as there is fracture between progressive and more moderate. And so what do you think the overarching, like, this is what, if we get the trifecta, we will be able to do in Wisconsin?
I think, well, that's two different questions. There's the sort of federal landscape and there's the state landscape. There is a host of what I call 80-20 issues that Democrats in Wisconsin should be running on. Increasing the minimum wage, expanding access to Badger care, fixing the school funding problem. Nationally, the number one ticket has to be healthcare. Trump has not addressed healthcare. In fact, he has made it worse. At the national level, you also need to put an end to the corruption. The American people and taxpayers are getting fleeced by this administration. Stability in the economy is essential. Like, you have to stop the bleeding before you can start to rebuild Humpty Dumpty.
I hope that's the Democrats' agenda. If you look at the latest Marquette poll, none of those issues are in the top 10. None of them. They have to have
economy and corruption.
He didn't say healthcare. He said nationally.
I started with healthcare.
He just said federally healthcare is
Badger care, minimum wage. Yeah, no.
Bill McCosha, Joseph Pecco. We'll take a break here. Lots more to get to. I have some other questions on this subject. We'll get to those after this. Kristen and Steve, Point Taken, 620 WTMJ.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Hey, it's WTMJ, Steve Skinny for 70 years. Hey, that's older than me. The Geist Company has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. Don't let a busted garage door, your opener's not working right. Don't let that get you down. Call my friends at Geist today with brands like CHI, LiftMaster, leaders in the industry. They have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs. I saw some of these to meet your exact needs. Very cool, by the way. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to Geist, Geis, GeistDoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom. I was just there a few weeks ago. It is awesome. You can see hundreds of doors featured, openers. You wouldn't believe the technology on these things, cameras and apps on your phone. Come on, that's amazing. Don't think twice. Call Geist, Geis, Doors.com.
Personal injury lawyers seem like they're a dime a dozen, but Frank Pasternak and I are not about T-shirts or cartoons. At Pasternak and Zergabel, we focus on serious cases and real results for injured Wisconsinites. We are two of Wisconsin's best injury lawyers. I'm Jeff Zergabel of Pasternak and Zergabel. Our clients trust Pasternak and Zergabel because we show up, we listen, and we fight for you. If you need help, go to Pasternak and Zergabel at injurywisconsin.com. That's injurywisconsin.com.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed business technology company. James' client, Amy Simonson, IT administrator with Professional Services Group.
We have several locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin. Having them all under one company has been very helpful.
Big or small, one location or several, James Imaging Systems is your one-stop business technology resource.
And they are on top of everything. When we have a problem, it's answered right away.
James Imaging Systems, Systems, IT-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, digital transformation, and unrivaled local service and support.
And they're always looking for what else can we do? What else do you need? So they want our company to succeed as well as their own.
Let James Imaging Systems help your business succeed. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
At AUG Prep North, we know the only way to build the future is on the foundation of excellence and faith. AUG Prep North, built for academic, artistic, and athletic excellence, made for more. Learn more at augprep.org.
All right, Bill McConaughey, Joseph, I can ask you a direct question, Bill. If this wave that Joe's talking about and his Dem strategy is in full effect, and maybe or maybe not this departures from legislature by Republicans means something, maybe not. Does the GOP in Wisconsin, how do they block this wave, put a barrier, knock this down so we don't have a blue wave? And
Three things. Understand the calendar. There are 228 days between now and November 3rd. You have to use each one wisely. Number two, you have to continue to get things done in D.C. That is a must, particularly on the U.S. Senate side. Whether it's the Save America Act or it's confirmation of appointees, it's a variety of different things where they end up being sort of the end all, where things just go to die. And the Republican base will not sit still for that. Well, they may actually sit still and stay home, and that's the fear. Number three, let's hope that Joe's optimism continues for all Democrats, because we as Republicans had that in 2022 with a weak Joe Biden in the White House, figuring that this was going to be a red tsunami. It wasn't even a red trickle. So a lot can happen in a 228-day period of time. Stay focused, continue to get things done, and focus on the homeland. That's what it's all about. If you want to win, people are really, really concerned about what's going on here.
Do you have a new president waiting in the wings to change some of that in the next 228 days? Or?
Well, we'll have one by 2028.
Well, he's got $400 million to help with the cause.
Do you think that they will blow up the filibuster and pass the SAVE Act?
Thune has said no multiple times.
They don't have.
They're on the bill right now.
What is the fallout if they don't get that done? Because Trump has said he will not sign anything else unless they get that done.
It's a big problem for Republicans, and particularly Senate Republicans. I mean, they have an opportunity in Michigan. They have an opportunity in New Hampshire. They have an opportunity in Georgia. Plus, they have some seats that they have to defend. If they do nothing, they will pay a price for it.
So really, thing number one with 228 days should be to get Republicans back on the same page.
Well,
should we start there?
You guys are better at it. I'm going to give you that for sure.
All right. Can they all get along? We will see, Dems and Republicans. Because if you don't have a unified front, it's hard to win anything. And we'll see if both sides can manufacture some consensus. I love that word, consensus. I use it like 10 times this week. I'll use it even more next week.
Is there consensus that early voting starts next Tuesday? So maybe we should start talking about the Supreme Court race? And that is a tease.
I've already voted and mailed it in. How about that?
Look at you.
I just got it, and I sent it right back in with my votes.
All right, let's talk about the Wisconsin Supreme Court race after this with Joe, Bill, Steve, and I'm Kristen.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Redo Cabinets and Outdoor Living Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. Yet at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ, Steve Scavino. I love talking about Walney Legal Group. Actually having lunch with them today. They specialize in estate planning, wills, trust, probate, elder care, very important, special needs planning, also very, very critical. They can offer a custom, personalized experience, not a cookie-cutter, one-size-fits-all solution. Their motto, lawyering the way it should be. Clear communication, niche expertise, personal service. How cool is that? Modern approach. They've been awarded many different awards. Best Lawyers in America. Attorney Walney has been named a 5-star estate planner, so that matters as well. That's a resume item. Only 16%, 1/6 of people have appropriate current planning documents. You can't set it and forget it. If it's been a few years, have Walney Legal Group review and update it. The team at Walney Legal Group are friendly, creative, sensible, and smart. They can help with elder planning, special needs children, transitioning to adulthood, another big concern. Offering legal support for the transition into nursing home care and assisted living. Visit Walney, WALNY, legal.com to start a conversation no matter what phase you're in.
This summer, don't just work, log off, and become the guy behind the adventure. More laughs, less scrolling. Do summer different at Peak Initiative. We're hiring camp counselors, leaders, swim instructors, and more for our day camp in Milwaukee and over camp in Boscobel, Wisconsin. Earn $650 a week starting pay, plus housing and meals at Lake Valley Camp. Make memories, make an impact. Make this summer count. Apply today at peakinitiative.org/join our team. The Peak Initiative. Do summer different.
We're all ready for a little spring, and Fleet Farm's ready to get you prepped with great buys, like our patriotic folding chair for $14.99. Superior crabgrass preventer with lawn fertilizer is on sale for $16.99 a bag. Bounty Essentials double roll paper towel 6-packs are $7.97. And get 50 rounds of CCI Blazer Brass 9mm handgun ammo for $10.99. Prep for less at Fleet Farm. And check out even more springtime deals at fleetfarm.com.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big-name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less, and we do everything that a full-service agency does. Because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
The Mine Chef's Wednesday and Friday, all-you-can-eat haddock Lenten fish fry is just $8.99. Kids and grandkids, 5 and under, eat free from the kids' menu Sunday through Thursday. Google, call, and reserve your $8.99 fish fry. It's the Mine Shaft.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
All right, in the last 2 weeks, we had both candidates for Wisconsin Supreme Court race on, Judge Maria Lazar and Judge Chris Taylor.
Was that Jazz's commentary that Republicans are headed for a wipeout? Wasn't that
maybe
the song Wipeout?
You'd have to ask Jazz.
The song is Pump It, and I was getting a surfing feel from all the waves we're talking about.
Oh, so you got to, that's layers deep. Well done, Jazz.
Not Wipeout.
Not Wipeout.
Pump It.
Pump It.
Jazz ain't making
Our
any
pop
political
culture expert
predictions.
over here.
Yeah, right? The old guys.
We'll come back to that later.
Yeah, we'll come back to that.
All right.
All right. Thoughts as we enter. So it's in most places, early voting will start in person. Early voting will start this coming Tuesday. Steve just said he's already mailed in his absentee ballot, so that those have obviously been mailed out. We are quickly approaching the spring election, and boy, does it not feel like it
So
compared
quiet.
to
It's
the
nice
last.
to have a quiet one.
It kind of is.
Last year's
nice.
was like took 3
It was
years
insane.
off our life.
Last year was insane, but
And the one before was
ultimately, what is that going to do to voter turnout? And what does that mean as far as how close or how not close this race will
That's
end
a
up
great
being?
question because we're bombarded with ads. Not this time.
Not this time.
Not this time. It will impact turnout. Usually in a spring election, you get 35. In Wisconsin, maybe 40% turnouts. In some areas like Madison, it might be 45 or 50. It'll be a lot less than that. We will not have the turnout that we have had the last 2 Supreme Court elections, in part because the majority isn't on the line, but primarily because nobody knows about it. I mean, in the last Marquette poll, Judge Chris Taylor was leading Judge Maria Lazar 17-12, meaning there were 70% of the people who had no idea.
Which is just crazy, right?
Right. And I'm not sure that's going to change. I've seen ads for both in Madison, but like at a fraction of the rate there would have been in the last 2 elections.
So you
And-
say not interested in the candidate means not interested in voting.
Yeah. I think the turnout will be way down.
Here's why this is important, despite how quiet it's been. The pro-democracy majority that is currently enjoyed on the Wisconsin State Supreme Court is only guaranteed, as of today, until August of 2028. We saw in 2020 that we were one swing vote, Brian Hagedorn away, from absolute chaos erupting on the counting of the ballots that showed that Joe Biden won the state of Wisconsin. If you want to feel secure in our elections and that there will not be any monkey business, you need to vote for Chris Taylor to ensure that that pro-democracy majority on the state Supreme Court is guaranteed beyond the 2028 election.
And I would assume Bill would advocate a vote for Maria Lazar.
I like Maria Lazar. I think she's a great candidate. I think she's woefully underfunded, and I think Republicans and conservatives are missing an opportunity to legitimately compete in this race. Chris Taylor has a legislative record that would not sit well with spring primary voters, but they're never going to know about it.
Did you happen to see Dewey Strobel's comments about the interview that we did and some of her answers to her questions?
Was it on Twitter?
Yeah, he was not happy. He cited her record as you just did.
Yeah.
He goes, "What are you guys doing
What's
here?"
he doing these days?
Dewey took a pretty big swing at Brian Schimming a week or two ago, too, about
he's
what he's doing.
He's fired up.
I was gonna say, what is he working on?
I don't think we've heard the last of Dewey. He's currently working at HUD, but my guess is he'll be back in the public eye here at some point.
I hear that, and I think you're exactly right. All right, we'll take a break. We got some good stuff. Grab bag, say something nice. I actually wrote something down this week. Wow. Prepared, homework. You should do it. Be smarter, listen better. News is next.
When you think about your financial future, it helps to have fee-only fiduciary guidance that puts your interests first. At Annex Wealth Management, you receive comprehensive planning from a team that includes wealth managers, financial planners, and investment specialists working together to support your financial life. Annex's advice is designed to stay aligned with your goals without commissions influencing recommendations. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference. Click Get Started at annexwealth.com.
This pain right here won't go away.
I just felt okay. It's something I'm gonna have to live with.
I just lived with it.
So I suffered with it for several years.
I felt like it was getting worse and worse.
I'm 46 years of age, so I did not want to get a knee replacement.
And I was like, something has to be done.
You don't want to have knee surgery if you don't have to.
Once I found Rejuvenex, I feel 100% better.
It eliminated the pain.
All of a sudden I went, oh wow.
I started feeling pretty good.
So now I'm back. I can walk.
I'm excited for myself. I can't wait to continue.
I can stand longer. I can walk longer.
I can run a little bit. I should say jog.
The pain just went away. It's just wonderful.
It's a life changer. I definitely would recommend it.
Go to rejuvenex.com to schedule your appointment.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. That snow early in the week was crazy, wasn't it? I know. It happens, but I just wasn't really ready for it. Well, we're going to get you ready for some stuff you can do inside right now because it's still kind of chilly, and some stuff you can plan for coming up this spring. It's Experience Wisconsin at 1 o'clock on Saturdays, this week joined by the Milwaukee Art Museum and KB Excursions. Going to be a fun show. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturday at 1, right here on 620 WTMJ.
I'm not against shopping online. In fact, you can check out our huge selection at BurkhartSportingGoods.com. But when you're ready to buy, Burkhart should be your only stop. Because here, you can grab hold of the Midwest's largest selection of baseball bats, gloves, and equipment, and take all the swings you need in our indoor batting cages to make sure you buy the right bat. And when you buy your new mitt, we'll steam and custom fit it for you right on the spot. This is Brian Burkhart, and when you love baseball and softball like we do, you can't beat Burkhart. If you're in charge of uniforms and equipment, you want to get the most value for your team's budget. You want the most for your money, and you want the process to be easy. Because you already have enough on your plate. We get it. Burkhart Sporting Goods Team Outfitting Division is the best you'll find. With an abnormally high customer satisfaction rate and our own silk screening and embroidery facility for quality control. So if you want the highest quality team outfitting and incredible service, you can't beat Burkhart.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
11 o'clock, we have 51 degrees. We'll warm up a degree, high 52, and then it turns cooler lakeside in the afternoon. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. Decision, Wisconsin. Another key state Republican announces they will not seek re-election this fall. Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu says in a statement he's seeking a new chapter in my life. The announcement comes just days after LeMahieu scheduled votes on controversial online sports betting and name, image, and likeness bills that faced pushback within his own party. LeMahieu is now the fourth GOP member of the state Senate to decide against seeking re-election this fall. U.S. officials tell ABC News the American military presence in the Middle East may soon be increasing. ABC's Stephen Portnoy has more from Washington.
2 U.S. officials tell ABC News 3 amphibious ships carrying 2,200 Marines left San Diego earlier this week. Formally, officials say the 11th Marine Expeditionary Unit left on a previously scheduled deployment to the Indo-Pacific. But sources say their ultimate destination is likely to change. If they're given final orders to head to the Middle East, it could take weeks for the ships to get there, where they would join thousands of other Marines already headed to the region aboard other vessels.
The Pentagon requesting an additional $200 billion to fund the war. An urgent FAA investigation now underway after a close call at Newark Airport saw 2 planes nearly collide. Here's ABC's Whit Johnson.
The incident taking place Tuesday evening shortly after 8 p.m. The Alaska flight originating from Portland, Oregon, and the FedEx plane arriving from Memphis, Tennessee. Air traffic control calmly telling Alaska Airlines Flight 294 with 177 people on board to go around just seconds before touching down, while the plane was a mere 150 feet off the ground.
Preliminary data showing the Alaska jet clearing the FedEx plane by just over 300 feet. A Cesar Chavez monument in Milwaukee has been taken down. The statue outside El Rey Family Market, the plaques honoring the legacy of Chavez, removed from the store's entrance. Owners say they plan to replace it with the statue of an immigrant family. And another local community considering naming changes in response to the sexual abuse allegations against Chavez.
In Racine, Mayor Corey Mason is suggesting a new name for the Cesar Chavez Community Center. His proposal would call it the Dolores Huerta Community Center after the labor activist who co-founded the United Farm Workers Union alongside Chavez. This comes as Milwaukee leaders are discussing whether to rename South Cesar Chavez Drive. The city of Milwaukee and the Marcus Performing Arts Center have both canceled their plans for Cesar Chavez Day celebrations. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
After a brief weather delay, drivers on I-94 can expect a major traffic shift heading into the weekend.
Eric Hansen of the DOT says this week's snow pushed things back slightly, but the project is still on track.
We did have to push it by a day or two just because of that large snowstorm that we had at the beginning of the week.
Crews are now moving forward with reopening lanes on eastbound 94.
So come Friday morning, March 20th, we will have 94 eastbound back open to 3 lanes between 70th Street and Zablocki Drive there, and that is scheduled to remain open through late summer.
And that setup should stay in place through most of the construction season. Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ News.
Chuck Norris has died at the age of 86. The iconic tough guy actor passed away yesterday morning while surrounded by friends and family in Hawaii. He suffered an undisclosed medical emergency and was hospitalized earlier this week. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow down 176 points. The NASDAQ off 219. S&P 500 down 44. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:04.
This time, that station will make your ad. Next time, another station will come up with it. If there's one thing your small budget needs, it's consistency with your message and your media buy. It's easy to buy the flavor of the month. It's difficult to trust a plan because you'd probably be experimenting. Our plans have been proven to work. We'll get you the lowest rates, give you a consistent message that sets your business apart, and then we'll build you efficient top-of-mind awareness. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results. We'll make your ads potent, memorable, and effective. Whether it's radio, TV, billboards, or digital, our understanding of the market and long-standing relationships are unmatched. Anderson-Smith represents a substantial amount of advertising billing, which will benefit you in getting much more for your ad dollar. Our compensation model is designed to make it affordable for businesses like yours to use us. And we hold on to our clients because what we do works. And they trust us. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results.
3 generations ago, it was about doing one thing and doing it right.
Hardwood, tile, carpet, floors that had to last because our name, Adair, was on them. Over time, homeowners asked us to do more. Kitchens, bathrooms, full remodels. And so our name changed to Adair Floors and Remodeling.
But flooring has always been the foundation, literally.
And it's something the next generation already understands.
Hi, I'm Ava. Hi, I'm Quinn. My dad does floors.
From hardwood and luxury vinyl plank to tile and carpet, we handle selection, layout, and professional installation.
And because we also remodel homes, we know how flooring works with everything else. Transitions, finishes, and long-term durability.
When you hire Adair, you're getting experience you can stand on and people who will be here for decades to come.
Call my dad. Bye-bye.
Adair Floors and Remodeling. Built on flooring, trusted for remodels. 3 generations, 1 standard. Call us at 414-761-3660 for your free flooring estimate.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Wisconsin men's basketball team upset in the NCAA tournament. 5th-seeded Badgers lost 83-82 to number 12 seed High Point in Portland. UW ends the season with a 24-11 record. Wisconsin women's team kept its season alive, beating Oregon State 62-58 in the first round of the WBIT. UW will take on Miami in round 2. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more. The Bucks began their road trip on a down note. Milwaukee lost 128-96 to the Utah Jazz. They take on the Phoenix Suns on Saturday. Brewers picked up a lopsided win in the desert. Milwaukee scoring 7 runs in the 3rd inning to cruise to an 11-4 victory over the Rangers. They take on the Diamondbacks today. Take a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. I-41 north, about a quarter of a mile beyond Rawson Avenue. The shoulders are blocked. There's a crash there. It looks like they are off of both shoulders are blocked in that area. Cleared I-94 west at 43 north, the right lane. It was blocked due to a disabled vehicle.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Tayback Law fights for those who fought for us. If you're a vet and have been wrongfully denied the VA benefits you're entitled to, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Mostly cloudy today. High 52 and then turning cooler lakeside this afternoon. Cloudy and 34 overnight. Sunshine tomorrow. Highs 57 lakeside, 65 inland. Rain, a chance of rain on Sunday with a high 48. Sunshine on Monday, 43 for the high and mostly cloudy and 45 on Tuesday. 51 in Madison, 44 in Green Bay, 51 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scafidi and Kristen Bry.
Yes, we still have another half hour with Joe Zepecki and Bill McCoshen. And I can't believe we're talking about this for the 3rd day in a row. But here we are. Charlie Kirk Highway. Yay, nay.
Washington County. Mine's real easy. Number 1, I don't care. Name things what you want to name them. Number 2, it really seems like Republicans are obsessed with naming stuff recently. And I think this is more about Donald Trump than it is Charlie Kirk, right? Like, what is this obsession with, like, naming stuff? Because here's, like, the counterexample. Barack Obama, who I worked for, right? Whatever he accomplished politically, he was, the day he was elected, a historic figure. As the first black man elected.
Yeah.
And you didn't see Democrats rush out and be like, we need a monument and an arc and we need to name everything after him. In fact, the thing that bears his name, I will remind people, Obamacare was done by Republicans as a slur when that law was unpopular. So what is the Republican obsession with naming stuff after people that are either still alive or recently gone? Can't we just pump the brakes?
So I'm interested in Steve's interview with Josh Schoeman. I didn't hear it yesterday. I watched Josh on WTMJ television, the clip this morning, getting ready for this show. And it looks to, I think Josh handled that well last night. There was a committee hearing, an executive committee hearing of the full board of the Washington County Board, where he basically said, listen, this is good. It got people engaged in public policy, and they came out and they spoke their mind. And I thought he handled that well. It doesn't appear to me that this was his idea. Whether it was or it wasn't, I'm glad it's all being done in public. And whatever the Washington County Board ultimately does here, they're going to have to take a vote on it and defend spending $50,000 to change street signs.
That's really the nut here. Josh admitted in the interview, which was right out of the gate yesterday on yesterday's show, he's not in favor of spending $50,000 of taxpayer money on this. He's looking for a donation for $50,000. Then he thinks it will move ahead. But he also noted in the interview that reaction from the community was overwhelmingly negative. There was
people do not want it.
They don't want it.
Right.
This came from an executive committee member.
That's how democracy works.
Absolutely. So
ignoring the 100 people that show up?
No,
and you move it forward anyway.
Listening to them.
I don't disagree with Joe. I think we're naming too much stuff.
Politics is a participatory sport.
Yep.
If you stay at home, you lose.
Amen.
Yeah. But this naming thing is out of control. The president does it all the time. He's got, I don't know how many things named after him already, and he's still alive. Typically, this stuff doesn't happen until you're dead. And I'm not wishing any harm on the president.
And sometimes you still get burned, like we apparently did with Cesar
Tommy Thompson has a lot named after him.
Stop naming things after men.
Okay. Tough but fair.
No.
Come on, if for the next 100 years, if we only named things after women, we still wouldn't be at parity, because for the first 250 years of this country, almost every damn thing that bears a real person's name was named after a man.
Yeah.
I'm on Team Kristen
and there
here.
probably wouldn't be decades later thoughts that any of these women were assaulting young boys, because who are the perpetrators of sexual violence?
Never know.
Bachelorette contestants and men.
Ding, ding, ding.
How's
You know
that
that
for pop
reference, Steve?
culture?
I'm going to mention The Bachelorette later in the program.
Oh.
Look at all three of you up on your pop culture this week.
It's proved me a point that I've been making for a long time about reality TV, and it's on clear display with that decision to yank that. All right, let's take an early break, because I want to get a lot of time for Say Something Nice, because I think it deserves it in a week where we've had a lot of news. And then, of course, Grab Bag, and I've got two of them. I was going to say a bad word. I wrote stuff down this week, which I've done twice in the last week.
I think I'm rubbing off on you, Steve.
Yeah, I don't like that, because I don't like to write. I just want to have it come out of this noggin, which is the best, unfiltered, unedited brilliance. All right, quick break.
Men suck.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ. Stories of the outdoors in Wisconsin and beyond as we celebrate everything in recreation. This week, Eric Brown, Outdoor Living Unlimited, our great sponsor here in WTMJ Outdoor, joins us. Langlade County, we're talking about activities in the winter and spring up there, and we wrap it up with a conversation about all that fish you caught this winter.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Hey, WTMJ, Steve Scaffidi, just heard my voice. Well, how about this one? Text the word extra. Drop everything, unless you're driving, drop everything you're doing. Text this, EXTRA, to 855-616-1620 to be eligible to win a 4-pack of tickets to a Brewers Blue Jays Double B on Tuesday, April 14th. I think it's a night game. I'm pretty sure it's a night game. But the cool part is 4 tickets right behind home plate. This is a win you want to have, but you're not going to get it unless you subscribe to our newsletter, which comes out easy once a week, easy read, fun read, all cool things about WTMJ, some of the things we do outside of the show content, great interviews, all there for you by subscribing. That's the only way you can win these tickets. So sign up today. Drop everything. Text the word extra, EXTRA, to 855-616-1620. We'll send you a link to sign up at WTMJ.com.
From our store in Kenosha.
Hi, Monica. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Rick.
Your email said you had a big surprise.
Look and tell me what you see.
Wow, I see 9 perfect examples of the classic diamond solitaire engagement ring.
They're gorgeous.
These rings are exactly what people imagine when they hear the words engagement ring.
Monica, do you think it will always be like that?
Evermore.
That long?
And each of these is 3/4 of a carat.
$998.
Unbelievable. So how much do we sell them for?
That is how much we sell them for.
Can we do that?
We're the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America, Rick. We can do anything we want.
But for how long?
Evermore.
People can choose any of the 9 most popular style solitaires, 3/4 of a carat, and each of them was created in the heart of a miniature star.
5 different diamond shapes, 2 colors of gold. Evermore, just $998.
Or $14.98 with 1 carat diamond center with diamonds on the side.
Learn more at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Do you have a spot that's too cold in the winter, but if you jack up the heat, the rest of the house is too warm? Vince Vitrano for USA Insulation. Time to get Jeff and his team out to your house. Proper insulation from USA forms a thermal barrier that maintains warmth in the winter and coolness in the summer. Time to get in on thousands of dollars of government efficiency credits. Jeff and his team at USA Insulation find the grants, rebates, reductions, and they discount the cost of your project up front. Get started at usainsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
Yeah. You keep saying your side is better. It's time to
say something nice
about the other side of the political aisle on Point Taken.
Come on, people now.
Get your hippie hats on. It's time for Say Something.
Is it hippie hats or kumbaya?
I can say whatever I want to say. You can't mad at me.
Kumbaya caps? Your bongo drums?
Hippie hats. I said it. I'll
Snaps?
stand by it. Who's going first on Say Something Nice? And it better be nice, too. No
I'm going to go first.
No cheating on this.
This week I'm going to say something nice about Governor Tony Evers.
Ooh,
I'm going to
don't steal mine.
Quickly say something nice about him signing 12 months postpartum on Wednesday.
Very
and then
cool.
yesterday, I think the biggest bill of the session, he signed Gail's Law with Gail's husband, widower husband, and her two daughters there, and said some really nice things about the family and Gail herself. But what I really want to give the governor credit for is his remarks about the retirement of Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu. This is how it's supposed to be done. One of the first lessons I learned when I started with Tommy Thompson as a 23-year-old kid was if there's a puff piece about somebody, regardless of party, don't be the asshole in there. Don't be the one that says something terrible. So here's what Tony Evers said about Devin LeMahieu. While we haven't always seen eye to eye on every issue all the time, I've never doubted his commitment to doing what he believes is best for the folks and families in Sheboygan County and across our state. So much of what we've accomplished could not have been done without Majority Leader LeMahieu's patience and persistence. That takes a high level of maturity to do that. It is the right thing to do, and kudos to Governor Tony Evers.
Well said. Well said. Yeah. Joe.
I am going to say something nice about Congresswoman Lauren Boebert.
Wow.
Of Colorado.
Didn't see that coming.
First timer from Zepecki. She is taking a principled stand on the $200 billion supplemental. Boebert said, I have told leadership I am a no. I am so tired of spending money elsewhere. I have folks in Colorado who can't afford to live. I will always give credit to people who go against a president of their party. This week she did that. That $200 billion debate is going to be real interesting because I think Democrats should and will oppose it across the board. And you already have multiple Republican members of Congress saying they are no's.
Which other Republicans?
Chip Roy from Texas and Thomas Massie.
So does that mean they don't have the votes?
Runoff
they
for
don't
Attorney
have the
General.
votes.
They don't have the votes.
They don't have the votes right now, unless they get Democrats.
Which do you think they would?
No.
Not today.
Okay.
All right, I'm going with Governor Tony Evers as well, not because of this specific thing he said, which I'll tell you in a second. He confirmed his plan to sign a bill that would ban people from using food stamps to buy candy and soft drinks. That's not the story. This is part of an effort, I think, by the governor, going back to what you just said about how nice he was to Devin LeMahieu, to work with Republicans. This is happening because of this bill that was amended earlier this month, including $72 million to make up for loss of federal funding that he obviously needed cooperation. Republicans needed cooperation. They needed Evers to cooperate. Give and take is what politics are about. Whatever your thoughts are on soda and candy, don't care. You can argue both ways. I've heard all the arguments. I've done hours on my previous shows talking about it. Don't care anymore. The big letter, the big word, C, and compromise. That's consensus, another C word. I'm using the good C words today. How about that? I don't use the other one, though. Anyway, this is why this stuff matters. If you can get, and this is not something the governor supported, by the way, this idea about soda. Not at all. But he's compromising. He understands $72 million for federal money that's gone. You have to find a way, and this is the way to do it. So I'm going to give love to Governor Tony. So he got a double dose of love from two Republicans.
Good week for the big guy.
Oh, my goodness. Kristen Bry, what do you got?
This is kind of it's fine. It's
wow.
Well, because there's not any teeth to it. So Brian Stile came out and said that if TSA agents aren't going to be paid, Congress should also not be paid, which I totally agree with, right?
Yeah,
I think that
sure.
like every time that our lawmakers are responsible for not getting things done and it harming people by paychecks not arriving, they should also not be getting a paycheck. I say it's fine because it's like it's easy to say because he knows that's not going to go anywhere. So that's why it's like.
But he still said it. I think that's something.
Talks
It
cheap.
is something, but it doesn't. I don't feel like as much teeth there as like the bravery of like not taking the vote because you're standing up for your constituents as far as where more money should be going versus this war.
What I'll give him credit is he said something that he knows that other Republicans and some of his pals in Wisconsin probably wouldn't like, but he said it anyway. So how about that?
Here's my quick
Final
question.
thought, Joe.
In the wake of every Wisconsin politician picking the Badgers to win the tournament and what happened yesterday with High Point, do we get
Where is High Point?
Was
I
until
believe
Sunday
New York.
night.
Do we get our $15 million in taxpayer money back that we were going to ship them for NIL?
Well,
hasn't been signed
think,
yet.
Do you think Evers is going to sign it?
Yes.
I don't know. If it were me, I would not. I think this
So
is...
you're not in favor of this
I
bill?
am so against this.
Bill-
This is obscene.
Bill, what is your take on that bill?
I think it's the sad state of where college athletics is, and they have to do it just to compete.
See, I'm where Bill is. as
And
far
I
as,
said
like,
doesn't
don't
make
like-
it right.
I don't like it, but I don't know how we don't do it.
Yeah.
All right, last break of the 90 minutes with Bill McCosh and Josie Pecky, our strategist friends that show up every Friday for us and for all of you out there in Radio Land and the internet and YouTubers. Love you guys. We're actually going to be focused more on YouTube this year. I've got an action plan in my head.
Oh, are we talking about this after the show today?
No, some other time. We got enough stuff to do today.
It's the weekend. It's the weekend after
It's
the
a
show.
future action plan.
So much for that C word collaboration.
We do enough collaborating, trust me. All right, quick break. Final break of the 90 with Bill and Joe. Here it is.
Behind every breaking headline, there's a reporter whose perspective deserves to be heard. This is WTMJ's Adam Roberts. Join me Sunday mornings at 10 on Reporter's Notebook as we break down the news from the lens of the reporter and analyze stories that deserve closer inspection. We'll also give you a behind-the-scenes look at what goes into a reporter's job and how the news you hear every day comes together.
Bringing you the story behind the story. It's Reporter's Notebook, Sunday mornings at 10 on WTMJ.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scavini from Milwaukee Weight Loss. Still injecting yourself GLP-1 medications every month, paying hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars just to hold on to that weight loss. Here's the reality. Stop the drugs, stop the results. At Milwaukee Weight Loss, they don't believe in short-term stuff. No, they offer a doctor-supervised, sustainable program designed to help you lose weight without lifelong medications, or never-ending refills. I'm the perfect testimonial. I lost 45 and I lost another 8 since I went off the reduction phase. No ejections, no monthly refills, no staying on a drug forever just to keep the scale down. Doctor developed, natural, supervised. You can lose 20 or 30 pounds in a month or two. Schedule your free consultation today. Don't wait. Change your metabolism. Reset it. Help your body burn that fat, not muscle like GLP-1s do. Want to lose that weight? Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
A buck in today's world doesn't go far unless you're spending it at Griffin. Because for just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. Buy one or a whole set. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand. We'll put you in new tires for just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. That's right, $1 over cost, and we'll even show you the invoice to prove it. So what's the catch? There's really no catch. You don't have to buy a car or a truck from us. We'd like it if you did, but our only requirement is we put them on for you. Buy one, two, or a set of four. The $1 deal at Griffin. Available at Griffin Chrysler Jeep South, 27th Street, and Griffin Ford Waukesha. The $1 deal at Griffin. Make your dollar go further. Griffin, the buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Hi, it's David Nason from The Fix-It Show on WTMJ. Every Saturday morning, we talk about keeping your home in top shape. One issue I hear all the time, wet basements and foundation problems.
And that's where Accurate Basement Repair comes in. I'm Chris Mancuso, and for over 20 years, we've been The Fix-It Show's trusted experts in foundation repair and waterproofing.
Don't wait until the problem gets worse. Visit AccurateBasementRepair.com.
Accurate Basement Repair.
We're not just good, we're accurate. Catch Accurate Basement Repair on The Fix-It Show and WTMJ.com.
All right. Since we got most of the politics out of our systems, let's finish up with some grab bags.
Who wants to go first?
We have plenty of time. 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Looks like Joe's not quite ready, so I'll go first. My rant is for all of you listeners who are traveling on spring break in the next week or two. If you face delays or cancellations altogether, this is a direct reaction to the Democrats' refusal to fund the Department of Homeland Security.
Political. And the Republicans' refusal to do the clean funding for TSA that they offered.
You think about it this way. The Democrats got what they want. Kristi Noem was fired. They can get body cameras for ICE agents. Trump's already agreed to that. What they can't get is demasking or taking the masks off the ICE agents. Think about it this way. If you're standing in line for 4 hours next week waiting to get through and hope that you catch your plane, whether or not you really care about whether an ICE agent has a mask on doing his job, it's a stupid play for Democrats. They're really about slowing down the economy so that the first quarter GDP is lower than it should be. The second quarter will be lower. This is all about a bigger play about November, but you're going to pay the price for it.
Sort of negative.
Nonsense. Monday is the 16th anniversary of the signing of the Affordable Care Act into law. We talked about it earlier because Republicans thought that they could hurt Democrats politically by calling it Obamacare. They named it, not Democrats. And 16 years in, it is clear that the law was not perfect. It did not do everything that it was intended to do, but more people had access to coverage. They bent the cost curve. That was good. Republicans...
How's that cost curve now?
Well, Republicans have torpedoed the law by undermining everything from Medicaid, Medicare. They have not lowered prescription drug costs. Trump can say it as many times as he wants. They let the tax credits expire for people who need access to coverage, but 16 years later, it is still a historic landmark piece of legislation, and I just wanted to call that out and remind you that Republicans are the one who chose to make healthcare cost more. 20,000 Wisconsinites have already dropped their ACA plans. 15,000 more are projected to, and if you stayed on your plan, you are surely paying more this year.
It's like counterpoint segment of the show. My goodness. Kristen, what do you got?
Mine's happier. I was going to go on my rant as far as stop naming things after men, but I already got that in. And I feel like a better use of this time is to wish my dad a very happy birthday.
There you go.
Happy birthday,
So
Bob.
my dad, who, if you listen to this show, you know that he played for the Badger basketball when he in the 70s. And nothing was better timed than him being born the first weekend of March Madness. Always. He is never happier than this weekend when he can just sit on the couch and watch game after game after game. And he is in town. My parents are in town today. They got in yesterday and they're here for the weekend. My husband is taking him to the sport book tomorrow so he can really enjoy all of the games. And so, but I will say one of the greatest joys I've had in the last couple of years is my dad becoming a grandfather. And Frankie calls him, she came up with this. We didn't assign it. She calls him Pop Pop. And their relationship is so fun and so cute, and it's really awesome. As far as like we have made an effort to make sure that she sees them once a month, and it's been awesome. So happy birthday, Dad.
She met anyone taller than
Happy
Pop
birthday,
Pop?
Pete.
Ooh,
I bet he must look like a skyscraper to her.
We have one friend. Our friend Mullin is also 6'8". He's a Polynesian former rugby player. He's a pretty big dude too. But yeah, as far as who she spends the most time with, certainly Pete Bry.
All right. Because I hate winter, I'm putting my snowblower away. I don't care what happened last. I'm putting it away. So any of you out there, if we get a snowstorm, it's completely my fault. By the way, thank you, Aaron's. I love the fact that I can get that out of my garage, clean my garage, get it set for entertaining, because we have one of those nice garage floors. And
we do too.
Very organized garage floor. I hate when it's dirty. I hate when it's got salt on and all. It's a happy place for me to get that out of my garage. So it's going to be in my shed as of Saturday, probably by noon. So that's one. Real quick, I am so happy that this Bachelorette show got yanked. This is just the worst thing about our country, and people that are fascinated.
That's the worst thing.
It is one of the worst things about our country. The people, they fixate on these weirdos, and they are weirdos who go on these shows. They're not normal people, and if you watch it, I question your ability to think about what's normal and what's not normal. I know that's very hardcore, and I have fans and family members who love these shows. Watch something else. Watch
read a book.
Read a book. Watch National Geographic.
Watch
Nova.
Say that.
Be smarter. Stop watching this crap. And I'm thankful that it's yanked, at least for this season. All right, we got news coming up. See you, gentlemen.
See ya.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dabusky. As the war in Iran rages on, we're learning new details about that emergency landing an American F-35 had to make. The fighter jet is believed to have been struck by Iranian forces. More from ABC's Louis Martinez.
As we dig deeper into what happened here, stealth fighters are undetectable to electromagnetic bounces from radars. But if you get something close to it that can detect infrared or heat-seeking locations, like potentially an infrared missile, then potentially this could be something that strikes the target.
It comes as the U.S. sends more troops to the Middle East, with 3 Navy aircraft carriers now on their way to the region carrying 2,200 service members. 40% of the TSA staff at Atlanta's airport has called out sick, and other airports are reporting similar call-outs amid the ongoing partial government shutdown, which has left those workers without pay. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:31. I'm Connie Weber. A 41-year-old man is dead after a police chase and shooting in the village of Summit. Chase began in Jefferson County for a driver with possible felony warrants Thursday morning. Waukesha County deputies then took over, and the vehicle became disabled in a field near Highway 67 north of Highway 18. The armed driver then fled the car, pointed his weapon, and was shot by a deputy. No jail time for the mother of 6 children found locked inside a Milwaukee storage unit. Asia Zelensky sentenced to 18 months of probation after she pled guilty to 2 misdemeanor counts of child neglect. Children were found living at a store-safe unit on 27th Street last year. A jury convicted their father, Charles Dupriest, on 8 counts of child neglect. He'll be sentenced next month. Exciting news. The first peregrine falcon egg of the season has been laid at We Energy's nest box at the Oak Creek Power Plant. It's the second year for peregrine falcons. Parents Essity and Joel have chicks together. We Energies expects more eggs to be laid in the next few days, with chicks hatching in just over a month. Since the falcon boxes were installed at power plants across southeast Wisconsin in the late 1990s, over 460 peregrine falcons have hatched. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is down 275 points, 45,746. The Nasdaq down 284, 21,805. S&P 500 down 59 points at 6,547. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Take a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic in Dane County. 3 left lanes are closed. I-39 south of Buckeye Road because of a crash. Traffic there using the right shoulder to get past the scene. 41 north, about a quarter of a mile beyond Rawson Avenue. Both shoulders there blocked due to a crash. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Mostly cloudy today with a high of 52, and then it'll turn cooler lakeside this afternoon. Mostly cloudy, 34 for your overnight low. Mostly sunny tomorrow, highs 57 lakeside, 65 inland. Chance of rain on Sunday with a high 48. Sunny on Monday with a high 43, and Tuesday mostly cloudy with a high of 45. Still 51 in Madison, 45 in Green Bay, 51 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:34.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less, and we do everything that a full-service agency does. Because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Wisconsin weather doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we make upgrading your home simple. Right now, order today and get 0% interest until 2032. You heard me right. 0% interest all the way until 2032. Upgrade your windows and doors now and pay over time without paying interest. With our 10-year limited warranty, you can feel confident in your investment. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 3/31/2026.
The only place to get this.
Bucks have lost now 3 consecutive games, and for the second time this year, are now 11 games under 500.
With some of this.
If I would have told you, hey, they're going to be fully healthy to start the season, and then they're not healthy again until mid-March, it should come as no surprise that they are where they are in the standings. At the same token, injuries should not be an excuse.
Get it all on Bucks Talk, your all-encompassing Milwaukee Bucks postgame show. Only heard here on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
Shame, boatloads of shame.
Sad day as we recounts the Badgers' first-round exit from the tourney. Joining us is Alex Strofe, my buddy and teammate over at 94.5 ESPN. And just shout out some of your things you do. You do like 8 billion things for...
I do. That's why I was almost late. Mr. Relevant, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 12:30 live on YouTube. Kyle Brusted Nortman in the afternoons, 2 to 5 on 94.5 ESPN are kind of my two main things, but Green Bay Game Day, of course.
And Alex is a great human on top of many things and very talented.
And recently engaged.
Yeah. Congrats on that publicly on the air.
All right, I need to know what happened.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. Right to
so
it.
we,
Good start.
as we said before, it is my dad's birthday.
Happy birthday.
And usually the best birthday gift he can get is a Badger win on the first weekend of March Madness. And that did not happen yesterday. But I, unfortunately, I was so close to it because I was in at UW-Madison campus yesterday. I was in the Union Memorial Union doing an interview.
Oh boy.
We could hear the students downstairs cheering. And then the interview ended. I checked my phone and we lost. And so what happened, Alex Strofe?
Everything went awry in the first weekend like it has for the last 9 years. High Point is a really high-scoring, high-paced, three-point shooting team, and that's what they allowed them to do in the second half. They've got this kid by the name of Chase Johnston. I shouldn't call him a kid. He's 26 years old, and he's still in college.
Wow.
But
still eligible.
Throughout the season, so the regular season conference tournament, he had attempted only 4 two-point field goals and over 150 three-pointers. He had missed every two-point field goal that he had taken. He ultimately scored the game-winning layup, his first two-point shot of the season. But in the second half, he scored 11 points, 9 of which was from outside. He hit a shot at one point, Kristen, where he caught the ball at about mid-half court and
just
swish.
launched it.
And then he had another catch and shoot on the left side where it's just catch, shoot so fast, and it was really impressive. But the Badgers were unable to slow them down from a three-point perspective. And then the end of the game was just, I don't know if it was time score awareness issue.
Well, they blew an 8-point lead.
Right. And some of the plays they drew up were just gross, and they couldn't get to the rim. I don't know. Everything went, it was the ultimate feeling. And I said this to a buddy last night as we were having a couple drinks and watching the games last night. I said, this was the absolute textbook example of a Wisconsin sports meltdown. I mean, think about it, right? Brewers, Bucks, Packers, Badgers. It was just with 7 minutes left in the game in the back of my head. I have that idea creeping.
We watched the Bears games this year. We know what it feels like.
I feel like I saw a GIF on Twitter yesterday of like just some guy getting kicked in the balls like again and again and again. Like this is what it's like to be a Wisconsin sports fan in playoff seasons.
Life is cyclical.
So what do you make of Greg Gard in the postseason? His record is not great.
It's not good. Look, I want to lead with this because number one, I think the idea that he should be fired is ridiculous.
That's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Number one, if you think it should, I defer you to take a look at that university's football team and what they haven't done the last 3 years. That's it. I think Greg Gard is a terrific coach. I think what he has done in the NIL transfer portal era is as impressive as any coach in the country. To go from a defensive-first identity and homegrown, developed through 4 years to transfer portal, offensive-first identity has been really impressive.
Oh, and by the way, his coaching qualified them to get in the tournament.
Exactly.
You can't forget all that stuff.
And right, you don't beat whatever it was, 5 top 15 teams on accident throughout the course of the regular season of the Big Ten tournament. But it's concerning, the meltdowns. This is the third time he's been a 5 seed and lost to a 12 seed.
Yeah.
He's been the head coach for 10 years. It's happened 3 times as a 5 seed. So I think it's ridiculous to suggest that he should be fired, but clearly there needs to be
for what is now an offensive first identity, there needs to be more preaching on defense, which they lacked a little bit this year.
That was not their strength this year.
No, it was not.
They could score, and they scored.
Fun team to watch.
Fun team to watch. I watched some of their games throughout the year. I'm not a huge Badgers fan, but it is a team that had enough to win this game, but they didn't finish, and they didn't play enough defense. And, oh, by the way, the point you made first, the other team was shooting lights out. Making three-pointers
15 for 40, I think. 43-point attempts.
Yeah, so
that's bonkers.
I'm going to ask you, I had never heard of High Point University before this game.
I've been to that campus.
You have?
Really?
Why?
Yeah, so one of my lifelong best friends lives in North Carolina, or lived. He now lives in Baltimore, but he lived in North Carolina growing up, and he lived 10 minutes from High Point. He lived in a little city called Trinity, North Carolina. So I went and visited him for a week a couple years back, and we went and we were doing a podcast together. So
What's
we did
it
a
known
statewide
for?
tour. Bart Lundy was the coach there at one point. UW Milwaukee's head coach. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's
Okay.
Bart Lundy. That's what they're known for.
Since you talk mostly sports, we
do.
talk mostly politics. This week there is the overlap of both, and I have to imagine that the NIL proposal, the legislation in the Wisconsin State Legislature, has been talked about on ESPN, or no?
Not a ton by us.
Okay.
No, it's been all Badgers this week. So I'm actually not super in the loop on this.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask your opinion on it.
So where are we at?
So it is passed the legislature. So now
Okay.
it is up to Governor Evers to sign it or not sign it. And it was, it's a divisive issue, right? It's like even in the state Senate, it was like half of the Democrats voted for it, half of the Republicans voted for it, and it was approved by one vote. I can tell you that our fans were not fans of it.
So this is the one where our taxes would effectively directly impact NIL.
Just less than $15 million going for athletic facilities.
It gives them an opportunity to sort of move
Free
funds
up
around
money.
to be able to pay college athletes, basically.
So the very little I know, I don't like it. Raise money. You have donors. You have all that. I understand we want to get a leg up in terms of specifically the name, image, likeness, and the money, but my biggest issue with the whole thing, and it's not a state thing, it's a nationwide thing. It's the Wild Wild West. There's no rules. There's no salary cap like there is in other sports.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
But I mean, me and Ben Brust were just talking about it on our March podcast we do called March Mode. Like now, the Badgers have to transition into recruiting their own players again.
Yeah,
right. Everybody's a free agent every year, and that's my whole problem with just we need legislation on what are the rules here. Are contracts actually legal, like law abiding?
And where does that fall? Does that fall on the NC2A? Does that fall on actual legislation that we're expecting Congress to pass things like this?
You've seen the Spider-Man meme, right, where everybody's dressed up and they're pointing at each other? Right. That's what this is. The NCAA is saying it's a state issue. The states are saying it's an NCAA issue, and we're never going to get an answer, is what it feels like.
There's a good news Badger story. Women's hockey team, Frozen Four.
Yeah,
this
let's
weekend.
go. Let's go.
Every
Penn
year.
State. Penn
Every
State
year,
tonight.
baby.
Women's hockey.
It's on the rise.
It's incredible.
Is there a Chicago PWHL?
I have no idea, to be honest with you.
Come on,
It's unfortunate I don't
Stroh.
know that. It's unfortunate I don't know
Everybody
that.
watches women's sports.
I do watch women's sports. I don't watch
Actually,
PWHL.
another, that's historic WNBA.
I was just going to ask that question.
Deal.
Yes. Huge.
Signed as far as it goes from the starting salaries 60K to 300K.
Yes, huge.
I think it's a 20% revenue share.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a huge deal as far as what those women, and the season's going to start on time.
I went to my first WNBA game last year in Los Angeles. It was awesome. I had a great time.
Awesome.
I'm a fan, especially Caitlin Clark, but if they don't fix their cheap shot foul problem, which is rampant in that sport.
You're totally right.
They got it. They're going to have to do something because they're losing players and playing time because they're cheap shotting each other, which is
who's tougher, WNBA players or MNBA players?
Men NBA.
Well, I mean, I know which one flops more.
Exactly.
They're not women.
There's no women out for a fingernail injury.
All right, Alex Stroh, thank you as always.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we got a giveaway. Realtors Home and Garden Show celebrating, how about this, 100 years, and it's, of course, at Wisconsin State Fair Park, March 20th through the 29th. It's the nation's longest-running show. I've been to this thing, and I'll probably go again. 300 exhibitors, incredible landscaping displays, and all the outdoor things. We get so many ideas. We spend so much money at these things. We got a whole new bathroom one year, or not bathroom, a whole new outdoor thing because of this. You can stroll their massive garden area. You have something to say on this?
Do they sell rocks?
No, but they'll tell you where you can get rocks.
I need affordable bricks and rocks for my landscaping for this year. So if you have
there's the
suggestions.
Ask. All right. Text it, 855-616-1620. All right, so let's go with a caller number 5 to 855-616-1620. You'll win a 4-pack of tickets, and you can grab your tickets today to purchase at mkehgs.com.
Shag carpet, avocado appliances, no frills backyards. A lot has changed. For 100 years, the Realtors Home and Garden Show, presented by Unilock, has showcased what's next, helping homeowners and gardeners rethink the way they live, indoors and out. This year's 100th annual show is packed with ideas for today, from smart homes to outdoor living spaces. Join us March 20th through 29th at State Fair Park. Buy tickets at mkehgs.com.
You buy one, we buy the other. Finalis is live, one of the biggest nights in Wisconsin sports, and we don't want anyone to miss out. You buy one ticket, and ESPN Wisconsin is going to buy the other. Be there for the night that will have everyone talking. March 27th, Finalis is live is a completely unpredictable show with Thanasis Antetokounmpo and surprised guests. Were you there when Stephen A. Smith joined? Or when Bobby Portis brought the house down the house? Where were you sitting when Giannis walked on stage? Thanasis Live is can't miss. TALiveshow.com is where you get tickets and enter code ESPN WI BOGO, so BOGO. That's ESPN WIBOGO when you check out. That's ESPN WIBOGO. The stars will be out, and so should you. Buy one, get one for Thanasis Live on March 27th at Riverside Theater, TALiveshow.com.
Active Liver from New Nordic protects your liver so you can enjoy life to the fullest. Online at Amazon or in stores at CVS, Wegmans, and now GNC.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Have you ever thought to yourself, I want my house to look better than it does. I just don't know where to even start or even what to do. Tri-County Contracting can help you with that. They can help you love your home again. They have the design consultants, they've got the showroom, they've got real picture renderings, they've got it all to help turn your home back into your dream home. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. Love your home again with Tri-County Contracting.
For growing businesses, digital marketing shouldn't be a gamble. If your business needs results, not guesswork, it's time for a different approach. At Margle Media, we deliver real results for businesses in an evolving digital world. Backed by data, guided by strategy, and focused on actionable outcomes. We partner with businesses of all sizes to drive growth locally or nationwide. Set up a free consultation today. Visit us at marglemedia.com. That's MARGLE media.com.
Yes, Toradol is considered a strong pain reliever. It's one of the most potent non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs available. And absolutely, hyaluronic acid is used to treat shoulder, hip, elbow, and knee pain. It's a lubricating gel-like substance that reduces stiffness and improves mobility. It acts as a lubricant and shock absorber, reducing friction in the joint. And when we pinpoint the root of your pain, and we combine these powerful 100% FDA-approved pain relief medicines, if thousands of patient confirmations tell us anything, you're going to experience pain relief. And because of this, your quality of life increases, and you'll start living better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas. There's much more to life that you've been missing because of your pain. This isn't even about taking a chance. It's about taking your first step to living pain-free. Go to rejuvenex.com to schedule your appointment so we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Call today, and there's a good chance we could be seeing you tomorrow.
Spice up your workday at the original Botanas on 5th Street. Enjoy flavorful and affordable Mexican lunch specials, always made fresh and served fast with a free cup of soup. Authentic taste, local favorite. Mi casa es su casa at Botanas.
It's been 1 week since you looked.
All right, a blizzard right before spring. We all remember that, but it's all melting. Controversial road names. Yes, indeed, and an early exit for the Badgers. That's sad. And more. It's the Weekend Review brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go.
This major winter storm still hammering Wisconsin. Some areas to the north seeing over 2 feet of snow. Blizzard conditions continuing through the day.
Do they got the donuts out and everything? Is it just a normal day at the Quick Trip?
Oh, yeah. They're working normally in there. Now, tell me about your experience on the roads this morning.
Absolutely crap.
So I back out of our garage, and I get stuck literally on our driveway.
Dozens of animal rights activists stormed Ridgeland Farms on Sunday in what they call an open rescue. The group forced their way into buildings, caused damage, and left with 23 beagles.
If you look at the photographs, they do not look like animals who have been subject to any mistreatment.
Are you a criminal?
These are sentient, loving beagles that have a right to have the same sort of life and love as every other puppy.
And a fly ball to center. It is back, way back. Grand slam, Brandon Lockridge. Me oh my. Wow.
This is the greatest honor. I can't even believe it.
Jessie Buckley winning the Academy Award for Best Actress for her role in Hamnet.
It was going to be a horse race, and boy, did it live up to the billing.
He is in studio on Wisconsin's Morning News. Olympic champion Jordan Stoltz is in the house.
So what was the first thing you did when you got home? Was there like one thing that you needed to do or had to do or not?
Oh, I went to bed right away.
So as of right now, the percentage of people who say that Trump devotion syndrome is more irrational than Trump derangement syndrome is 84%.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. That's the sound of Irish musician and longtime Celtic MKE staffer Christina Paris.
The Washington County Executive Committee will consider naming a portion of County Road K Charlie Kirk Way.
2 separate resolutions will be considered by the committee, one authorizing the name change, the other allocating $50,000 from the county's general fund for road name overlays, allocating $50,000.
Washington County, what the hell are you thinking here?
So they want you to bring macaroni on your flight so you can donate that to the cause for the security people who are working for free to prevent a bomb from getting on the plane. I love how we've normalized
It's the absurdity of the situation.
We have normalized that.
We already paid for the work that they're doing.
Yes.
They're just not getting it.
College basketball launches into its best time of the year. He is known in some circles as Bracket Jim.
Yes, thousands, millions of people are going to be watching these games as opposed to doing their jobs.
The city of Milwaukee and other cities and counties across the country are now trying to figure out what to do with Cesar Chavez after disturbing abuse allegations have come out now about the civil rights icon.
What was the most important thing you said in your 45-minute address this morning?
It was great to be able to highlight that ever since I've been county executive, we've ended every year with a surplus.
That is a message that should be shouted.
Wisconsin Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu will not seek re-election this fall,
saying it was, quote, time for a new chapter in my life.
How's your bracket doing? I'm not well.
Not so good. That wasn't good either.
Jazz, how's your bracket doing?
What bracket?
I went to Washington, D.C. for the Parkinson's Policy Forum. You have to get into the head of a politician and their staff. What they're going for, will it benefit them or not? If you feel like you want to do something like this, it is very possible.
Milwaukee Film Festival has chosen Uke to be the opening night film, so that's
congratulations.
An amazing honor.
Before the first game, he grabbed a tuba and he started shagging fly balls with the tuba.
I love that photo. It seems very Bob.
Chuck Norris has died, 86 years old. I didn't think Chuck Norris could die.
I was going to say, isn't death afraid of Chuck Norris?
Right. And we say that with love and with affection, of course.
Right. What are we, gay?
What a weekend, Franken.
I should have stayed at home.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
At Redo Cabinets, we know the kitchen is the heart of the home. It's the place that design and function matter most. Mark Olson here. Redo Cabinets wants to transform your kitchen into your vision without the mess, the stress, or the cost of a full kitchen remodel with cabinet refacing. During our spring sales event, learn all about refacing, premium cabinet products, and plenty of options for color, hardware, style, and accessories. And now get a free premium countertop with every refacing project, or payments that start as low as $195 a month. Call today and book a free, no-obligation consultation. Redo Cabinets, 414-677-6417. 414-677-6417. That's 414-677-6417. Or visit us at redocabinets.com. That's redocabinets.com. Serving homeowners for over 70 years in Illinois and Wisconsin. Don't replace, reface with Redo Cabinets.
Accident Mortgage
Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Homebuyer Helper Brian Wickert. One of our senior loan consultants recently helped their first-time homebuyer client win over 13 other offers. Of course, it was a team effort with their buyer's agent, and it centered around helping our clients understand what little difference there was to their monthly payment to offer over the asking price. And again, what little difference it would make to give the sellers peace of mind that they'd still buy even if the appraisal came in up to $20,000 short. But that's not all. Our consultant also texted and called the listing agent to reinforce how well qualified our buyers were and that they could, in fact, still close even if the appraisal came in low. Your AccuNet consultant will help you understand your options so you can decide how aggressive you want to be. Then we do everything possible to help you win. Don't let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Know your options and get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Join the Brewers Series against the White Sox March 26th, 28th, and 29th. Grab this year's first giveaway on Saturday the 28th, a replica of American Family Field for the first 25,000 fans, courtesy of American Family Insurance. On the 29th, it's Kids Cheer Free. Buy an adult terrace seat and receive a free ticket for kids ages 14 and under. On Sunday the 29th, the first 5,000 kids get a drip necklace giveaway. Grab your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests. That's WTMJ.com/contests.
Tune in to Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Well, Brad Schimmel will continue to lead the U.S. Attorney's Office in Wisconsin's Eastern District after all, under a new title.
Bringing you the latest in news, sports, traffic, and weather.
Plans for a Charlie Kirk Way in Washington County will be considered next month by the county board.
Every weekday from noon until 3 p.m. Only on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
All right, we talk too much. We got to get out of here.
I was going to say, what are you smirking about?
Because we talk too much. We literally got to get out of here. So thanks for the listens this week. Thanks for the future listens. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the nice weather.
You too.
Have fun with the fam. I will too. News is next.
There's a lot of noise coming out of Washington these days, but one